tell me what is really going on. It is true that the devil have a hand. Survival is a hell to brother man. We go in the wrong way, don't you understand?
We go in the wrong way.
I'm singing man to man.
We go in the wrong way.
In this wall of corruption,
We go in the wrong way.
Mama, let us strive for you. So much of famine in Ethiopia. Check on the apartheid in South Africa. They fighting war in the Holy Land. And my brother eating from garbage can. No man. We go in the wrong way. Don't you understand?
We go in the wrong way.
I'm singing man to man.
We go in the wrong way.
In this wall of corruption,
We go in the wrong way.
Mama, let us strive for you.
This is where I say a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing this afternoon? I hope each and every one of you guys are doing fine this afternoon. Today being Monday, the 22nd day of September 2025.
Crack and cocaine is now a killer. AIDS is another human disaster. Everybody fighting for power. Who live or die, that does not matter.
I want to say good evening to the persons in St. Mark's and St. John's today.
We go in the wrong way, don't you?
Two of our lone constituencies, right?
The wrong.
Tell them you guys stand alone, right?
We go
Good afternoon to Brother Dario.
in this wall of
Good afternoon to Dr. Modest.
the wrong way.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It is another lovely, lovely one where we're going to have our evening of conversation, politically and social issues that we must discuss. Yeah?
Even little children making baby. Some of them don't even know their daddy. All they know is that sex nice. But before they start, they would not think twice. Oh Lord. Sing the song. We go in the wrong way. Don't you understand? We go in the wrong way. I'm singing man to man.
We go in the wrong way.
In this wall of corruption,
Just to remind each and every one of you guys,
first cry.
this Wednesday, the 24th of September at 6:30, we are at Good Hope in St. Paul's. The new National Party public meeting train move over to Good Hope in St. Paul's
In the wrong way,
on a Wednesday.
mommy,
The new National Party,
oh yes.
St. Andrews Northeast, present breakfast, lunch and after work line. That is on the 3rd of October 2025. That will be happening at Stalin's Place next to Dunfermline Bridge. Breakfast at 7, lunch from 11:30. Music by popular DJ. Breakfast is $10, lunch is only $15, right?
The wrong way. We go in the wrong way. We go in the wrong way.
Yes, and don't forget the after work lime is happening again this coming Friday. Yes, just to confirm. Yes, so this Friday we are going to be having the after work lime. That's at the NMP headquarters in Tempe in St. George's. starting from 4. Entry will be free. Food and drinks will be on sale. So I'm gonna see you there again. Because guys, you guys know I doesn't miss, right? Yeah, I know you guys know I don't miss. I scarcely would miss an after work alive. I always try to show me face in the place. Yeah? So again, a pleasant good evening to each and every one of you guys. Our conversation is definitely going to be one that is going to be very intriguing this afternoon. So we ask of you guys to invite somebody. Yeah, let them know that there is another class in session program that is happening this afternoon. And so we just want to inform each and every one of you guys as it relates to that. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 in the afternoon, the funeral of the late Nilon Franklin will be held at the National Stadium. So we are going to invite each and every one of you guys that can be there, that will be able to be there, to make yourself available and be at the National Stadium tomorrow, where we say our final goodbye to our dear brother Nilon Franklin, as he would be laid to rest in what is going to be considered a state funeral. And so we are going to invite you guys to be there. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to first and foremost commend the tremendous work that we have been seeing by our many caretakers, or should I say constituency leads, and also persons within the constituency that are getting the work done. Brother Nimrod, good afternoon, and hats off to you, my dear brother. Brother Diali, good afternoon, hats off to you. Brother Cox, good afternoon, hats off to you. Well, Amanda and Sister Nolene. Yeah. And then the mother of our dear party, this is one person. The song as relates to We Can't See Down. When you hear that song, always come to mind. What should come to mind is our dear sister. Yes, our dear sister Clarice Modest Cohen, continuing the hard work. Sister Kate, continuing the work. All the members that continue to put in the work, we are imploring of you guys to go on out there, get persons registered. And let me say to you now, when you go out there, you're not going for an argument. You are going to try to win persons to vote for the new national party come the next general election. And we want persons to go on out there with facts, go there with information, go with credible information. As I said in my week before class in session, compare and contrast. Let them know what they had, let them know what they get, and let them know that we can do what we did again. So I want to just invite each and every one of you guys to continue to do that. Yes? Now, I made a clarion call last week, or for the past few weeks, I've been making that clarion call. Apparently, persons would have taken it to mean that the messenger, yeah, is at fault. Yeah? So we should not listen to him, but I've always learned the concept of listening to what is important as opposed to what is just looking for fame and name. Yeah, I want you guys, and I want to share this on my program today. I would have actually cut it. It's actually a 11 minutes or so long program, but I want to play this very short piece right here for each and every one of you guys that are a part of the class in session program.
So first of all, let me just say a pleasant good day to everybody. And I'm hoping that I wouldn't be long. I don't want my trend of thought to bring me in places too far. Yeah. But I want to make a clarion call this morning. And I think we must as a people understand the reason for this. And I want to be able to bring across my point most comprehensively, so that persons don't take it to mean that I am pretending to be something that I'm not. But the political atmosphere in Grenada is becoming frightening, and I'm very honest about this, and I want to make a call to politicians on both sides of the fence, on all sides of the fence, and the persons who are political activists or maybe bloggers or whatever it is, that we use that very same forum to implore to supporters to start to be logical thinking persons. Listen to me. Democracy is free. Democracy is opinionative. One can be opinionative. One can have a choice. But the bottom line to all this is respect. Like I could do all this, be opinionative, but at the same time, also be respectful. And it frightens me at this point that grown folks, we're talking middle-aged, 60, 70-year-old persons, even those who are expected to be in that proper frame of mind, still insinuate and instigate.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, even in my clip in here, I want to use my forum. And I would have asked of many others to do it. Apparently, I was castigated for it. I am okay with that. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is, at this stage, we are getting into a campaign atmosphere. We need not to hate each other. We need not to hate an individual or individuals, but more or less try our best to influence them and get them to be able to cast a ballot for the new National Party. We are not here seeking confusion with anybody. We need not to character assassinate no one. Let us do what has to be done. Let us say what has to be said and do so in a logical manner. I am taking the step forward within the limelight and say to each and every one of you guys, cease, desist. Don't do it. Ignore it. Leave it alone. Because most of these persons, they are awaiting these opportunities. Yeah? They are awaiting the opportunity to grab at something said, something done, be it good or bad, and run with it. Yeah? I am not going to be one of those persons. So I'm taking the step forward in doing this. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we saw a highlighted conversation for the past few days, and that involved Sister Amanda Japal. And let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, what is funny as it relates to all of this is that, remember, there was a period of scrutiny. There was a period of selection. There is a period when persons were selected for the position. Yeah? There was a time when you can know whether or not the persons that are vying the position have criminal records, whether they're openly affiliated with any political organization, whether they're part of any political organization holding any position. There was a period for this. Now, when Amanda Japal vied for the position that she won most convincingly, she held the position within the new National Party as the youth arm president. So it wasn't something hidden. Furthermore, in most of the events that we had before, public events, Amanda Japal was seen either clothed with or in circumstances sitting at the helm of those events wearing her affiliate political choice. She never hid the position. She never said she's not. As far as I understand, she was never questioned whether or not she is involved in frontline politics. And so she vied for the youth parliamentary position. And it was not one where she was selected by a few. There was an election atmosphere that was given so that she can be chosen. Yeah? Now tell me, at this stage, what is this noise about? Okay, she was selected, then elected. Then the party saw her work that was done in obtaining the position as youth parliamentarian and the work that she did. Now the New National Party saw her ability and decided that they would make her caretaker of a constituency. It means, ladies and gentlemen, that the aim of the youth parliament, which get to young persons getting the opportunity to learn more as related to frontline politics, and then based on how good they are, they will be selected to run by be chosen by a political organization if that is their career. And so our dear sister Amanda Japal vied for the position of youth parliamentarian, did an excellent job. And the New National Party saw it fit that this is a young lady that is willing, committed, and is very much one that can vie for a bigger position other than youth parliament. So let me take the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, in the attempt made to basically belittle her, to commend her on such a wonderful achievement, that you would have done such a great job in terms of being elected the youth parliamentarian, and to do so most convincingly. Because if you look at the result, you would realize that her deficit in terms of her victory would have surpassed many. And so her rival did not stand a chance. That her rival, as they don't say, did not even get a chance to breathe. And so, instead of attempting to castigate her, they should pay attention to the constituency in which she is now vying for, because we see what she can do in terms of youth parliament. So careful on yourself. That is what frightens them the most. And so while they're running behind Amanda Japal and the conversation of youth parliament, to switch the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, there is things like this happening in our dear country, Grenada, Carriacou.
Stakeholders in the fishing industry gathered at the National Stadium today for a crucial meeting following the recent ban by the USNOAA on seafood exports from Grenada. This session, convened by the Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, was aimed at updating the fishing community on the situation and to chart the way forward. In his address, Minister in the Ministry of the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, Honorable Lennox Andrews, reassured fishermen and exporters that government will be actively engaging with U.S. authorities to resolve the issue.
One of the fundamental things that we have to do is to update our act. Now, updating the act means, one, you have to draft the act. You have to write it down. You know what I mean? You have to draft the act. Right? After you
What? Lord, this is to be audio. Anyways.
draft it, you have to take it to the cabinet. Take it to the cabinet for approval. Right? Then you take it to the Ministry of Legal Affairs to do the real legal drafting with all the terminology and so. Good? Once that is done, we take it to the parliament to have it debated. And it is being debated at the level of the Senate and at the level of the lower house, which is the government.
Permanent Secretary Javan Williams outlined the criteria, compliance requirements, and a detailed update on government's immediate.
Now, before we take the next person, before the next person speak, I want you guys to identify something here immediately. Now, listen for the attempt to blame the previous administration. Listen to this.
It plans to bring Grenada in line with international standards, noting that collaboration with fishermen will be key.
In that meeting with the U.S. ambassador and our Sharifi officer in Grenada, we discussed the issue. It was made clear that over the years, there was some communication with Grenada to resolve this matter, and we fall short. And
you get it? You get it? You hear it? Over the years, they've had conversation with Grenada, and that falls short. Yeah?
hence we are where we are, but all is not lost. So the minister laid out clearly what is our intent for moving forward. So the intention is basically to get a meeting with FAO, with NOAA, so that's NOAA, get a meeting with NOAA. So the U.S. ambassador is linking us up with the right person.
Fisher folks openly voiced their concerns, highlighting the financial strain that will be caused by the ban, including the challenges they face.
But I also heard that in 2024, up to February of 2025, if we did not rectify that matter, then we would be in that situation that we are in now. Which is to say that we had a year, and I'm not casting any aspersion here or blame, but we want to avoid the blame game, but someone needs to be held accountable, because it is not fair to over 3,000 registered fishermen in our country. We had a year. Based on what you are saying to us, Mr. P.S., the truth is I'm a little bit hopeless.
I really want the people in charge to take this matter very serious. I don't know if it's the same people in the past who want to be representing with new ones, or is a total new body, but this is something that's going to affect me personally very seriously, along with my colleagues.
The fishermen and the people who go out there and face the elements of the sea, and you name it. I never heard no way where a fisheries officer has lost his or her life out to sea. Fishermen who lost their life, leave their wife, leave their children, you name it, at the end of the day. And for we to be where we are today, it's a shame.
For MTV.
This fisheries matter is not a simple one. And the one last thing I'm going to mention tonight that wasn't said earlier is that this matter has serious implications, not just for the fisheries sector, but for the agriculture sector. And you know why? A Amerijet comes here to take the fish from Grenada to the US. And when they come here, they take our soursop and other agricultural products. But do you know the majority of the cargo is the fish? And we have to ask ourselves, will they come as frequent as they did before? Will it be economical for them? And that is why this administration cannot afford to play around with such an important matter. We need an administration that doesn't panic when crisis comes. We need an administration like the NMP that would find solutions to problems and stop blaming people and stop cursing people, but deal with the problems.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there we had it. Our fisher folks are now faced with another issue. And this one comes immediately after the conversation of the visa restriction. And I don't know if I am the Don's boy in the room, but this, ladies and gentlemen, seems to be not just what we're looking at in terms of legislation to be drafted and all these other nice things that are being mentioned. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, in my belief is that Grenada is being targeted. We are being targeted, and my reason, or the reason for it being so, I don't know. And I would not attempt to make any excuse in any way, frame, fashion, or form. But ladies and gentlemen, this administration sits on the behind and watch those things crumble in front of us. And at the end of the day, they are only addressing foolish issues. While a situation like that is happening, they are quick to identify the audience or audiences that are at the public meetings of the new National Party. While they are counting the amount of persons who was in the meeting in Leicester, saying that there are 25 persons, and there were 25 persons that were there. There are 25 murders in Grenada that are presently continuing to ask government for the opportunity for employment. There are 25 farmers that are asking, where is government in a time like this? Instead, marketing board is closed down. There are 25 or more fisher folks in Grenada right now that are asking government to make a bold step in ensuring that this issue is rectified. There are 25 young men and young women that are presently exposed to violent activities, domestic issues, and also sexual assaults among our nation. So while you're counting the 25 persons and mentioning that there are 25 persons in Leicester, there are persons in Grenada of the very same amount that are asking for government's involvement in the development here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. They want an answer from Emmeline Peer, Honorable Emmeline Peer, as to why she did not attend the opening of the Parliament, when she made an open statement stating that she had an incident which caused her to have an injury in her foot. Now, instead of being able to understand this, they are questioning whether or not she just didn't want to be in Parliament, not even understanding what is the opening of Parliament and what is the throne speech. It is not a debatable session, but however, it is where the Governor General comes and outlines the recommendation given by government in every open session. But again, how can we not ask of the persons out there who are supporters to be logical and intellectual? Instead, the immediate thing is to attack. And let me advise you guys who are supporting the other side, ask of them to come forward and let the nation know as it relates to the allegation of bribery and corruption. The volumes that we're hearing of it continues to echo in the meadows. But no, this is not important. As was mentioned, the little post that I made, we had about 3 to 4 persons echoing the comment, echoing the sentiment. Oh, it is because the NDC start to stand up for themselves. And it is laughable because at the end of the day, you could tell that this is persons who paid no heed to politics in Grenada for years. Here one man say that the NDC now is not rolling over. The NDC now in terms of social media and backfighting is weak. Remember the new National Party having to deal with a Chester Humphrey. Ask about that. A Senator Clouden. Ask about that. A Peter David. A Nazim Buck. And we're talking persons who are politicians, not fly by night. Persons who were in depth in political history in Grenada. Sister Jenny Simon. Simon Says program today before she had the heartbeat program. And then NDC now is more of a confusion nature. I remember young and listening to politicians who supported the NDC were great men. Men who had a level of stature within our society and being able to contribute to healthy politics. You have people now just on social media making a post saying this one is a thief, saying this one is a child molester, saying this one breast long. That is what we have now. We don't have people that are openly involved in conversations now. And so usually when I hear them of late, this is what comes to mind.
You know, we live in times where intelligent people are silenced so that fools can be made happy. Do you know what? Choose to be wise, choose to be intelligent, and stand up for what you know, and tell people the truth. Be intelligent, be perceptive, and use your brain, and never mind the fools.
That is what it is. We are here sharing intelligent conversation. They would come on on NMP Live. There are conversations that are speaking about something that is good. My God. They would ask of persons to share great opinions. Every time I say on my program, I am awaiting that one person that can have a meaningful conversation. But when they come under it, what do you hear? What do you hear? What do you hear? The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a stage where politics is not healthy. Yeah? And there are many things that are happening in Grenada and they're blinded to it. Because the minute time you start to speak and address those issues, you are the worst. Right now, unlike many other media platforms, MTV is going out there and they're speaking to the persons and they're concerned. And instead of listening, they're castigating MTV. They consider MTV an NNP organization. But a clarion call is made to the Minister of Agriculture.
Government to come and settle this matter for me because people want to kill me. Last night, the big stone in front of my door, all 20-pound stone. Look at big stone on the ground there. This stone not from around here. The government workers bring this stone from quite telescope and bring it here. And just so in front of my door, a big stone just like this one. More and all packing up at the side at the edge of my land here. So I'm calling on the authorities to come and straighten out this business here. It's thanks to Mr. Andrews for this work going on here. He and the road officer, the American citizen road officer.
That was Anthony McQueen, a farmer in the Grand Bacolet area. McQueen says he is concerned about the future of agriculture in Grenada. During an interview with the MTV News team, he explained that he is the owner of over 5 acres of land in that area and has been farming for decades without any challenges or threats to his property and produce until 2024. He explained to the MTV News team that he has no issue with the government creating roads and developing the area, but believes that proper consultations and protocol must be adhered to. McQueen says he is fearful for his life, citing the damage to his properties by unknown persons.
All in my cocoa stool, binders with gravel and big stone. My grapefruit tree, big truck pulling it down. My cocoa tree, everything pulling down. You see, they're promoting agriculture, but look what really going on.
Gentlemen, I'll leave it here for now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it here for now. As one person is mentioned in the comment section, under that very said, MTV are watching all you, and that agenda all you're pushing. God watching all your cut eye. It is amazing that the simple things in which you just try to bring across. I think what the MTV News simply attempted to do here was just bring to light the very said issue that the gentleman is having, or what he would have had. And so, just for that, a media host gets castigated. Now tell me, in all honesty, how it is that these persons cannot continue to see the issues. Why can they not just see the issues, address those issues that the persons are bringing up? This is a state, listen to me. Democracy in our country is not just free, but it must be understood. And that is a fact. And if we as a people cannot understand democracy openly, then something has to be wrong. You cannot speak on anything. You cannot address any issue. You ought to just simply every time say, NDC is the best. That is what I believe they want everybody to know, say. NDC is the best. Anytime you get the opportunity, just say NDC is the best. The fact of the matter is, the new driver ain't driving good. It is either he can't drive, or he is refusing to drive properly. I saw a release of information recently where they placed Devon Rishi and another individual as probable candidates to vie for the next general election. Now tell me. And there were persons under that comment stating, oh, he coming back for more leaks and he coming back to lose again and all these things. Now with any form of concrete information, they run with it. But the minute time you accuse them of corruption, they want evidence. Get the trend? You get the trend? So when it involves them, they need some form of concrete proof that yes, this is, and that is the facts, and that is so. But ladies and gentlemen, whenever you say to them, this is what it is, immediately they get defensive. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play that nice little piece here today, because I ain't going to end here today without playing this one. Important piece.
Over the last 3+ years, our country's infrastructure has been deteriorating rapidly, and this government has no remedy. Projects stalled or abandoned, massive cost overruns, and wide open corruption doors. We'll come back to that. Let's look at the history of the new National Party. About a week ago, I heard a single mother complaining that the children had to study under lamp. Only 1 week ago. And understandably bemoaning the dismal environment. Ladies and gentlemen, children, consider the situation in 1985, when out of every 100 homes in Grenada, 55 were without electricity, and the majority of our children had to study under lamps. This 45-year-old mother had no knowledge of this. Of course, she was only 5 years old then. But I make the point to tell you, unless we instill in our children and those younger than us what went on before, you will have dismal situation like this reoccurring in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the blatant facts. And hence the reason why I want to make the call today and in going forward. NNP supporters, let our young people know what was done in this country. Let them know the work that was put in by the new National Party. Let them know that the things that they're seeing today was not that of yesteryear. If we go back to our history and all the terms that NNP would have solved in our country, we can identify some capital project, some uplifting investment in our country. Just like every other political organization, we were given a 5-year period. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not at this stage forget. Let us not at this stage pretend that this administration has done nothing in terms of our country's development and in terms of our prospect in going forward. Now, if you can say that nothing happened in 23 years of the past administration, I can openly say that absolutely nothing will be done within this term of the National Democratic Congress administration. The NDC continues every day and ever so often to attempt to pull wool over our eyes. Brother Baptiste would have been highlighted as it relates to the diplomatic blunder that would have happened. And again, they were in the comment section as per usual. But I want you to take a listen to Brother Baptiste.
East and West has caused untold damages to you, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, especially you, the young people. And let me tell you how. When Cornwall could say to the United States of America, take your visa and stick it. Cornwall was not just talking for himself, he was talking on behalf of we, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. That is not the language. When Deacon Mitchell, and you know, the man wants to be like Maurice Bishop so much, I don't know. Maybe they should find Maurice Bishop's body, dig it up and put Bishop's head over his body. When Deacon Mitchell is standing and telling the United States of America, Grenada is not your checkpoint. Grenada is not in your backyard. And we are a sovereign state. He's driving a nail in the coffin of you, the young people who want to migrate to the United States of America. Brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter how much toilet they give you. It doesn't matter how much roads they build. When the United States of America is against any country in the world, a lot of bad things has happened to that country. Every one of you here in Rose Hill and Grenada have a friend in America. I want to say to Randall and Cornwall, you are not representing yourself. We have an SGU that was brought here by the late great Harry Gary. $100 million entity. We have American Airlines. We have JetBlue. We have our Southside. And now you know the problem with fisheries. I told you earlier, when we had problem with any agency regarding agriculture or fisheries, we had such a friendly relation with the United States. Immediately, we can go to the United States and sit down and talk. We have an impending ban now on fishing. You believe Cornwall could go in America? I didn't hear that. Well, where you go, pass? And America take it easy. So people of Rose Hill, if a man representing you and he cannot represent you with the United States of America, it's time that you jump that representative. Did you hear what I say? Did you hear what I say? No, you don't. I'm saying to you that it's time that Andal and Cornwall must go, and they must go now.
Now that was a lot said there by Mr. Batiste. But let's take the logics of it. Let's be honest. The statements made were loose. The statement made was inconsiderate. You were not representing yourselves when you said that. Your studies in Cuba, at the end of the day, needs to be secondary when it comes to the people's business. Hence the reason why there were politicians before that were asked to give up citizenship, because they wanted to ensure that representation must be first and foremost that of the Grenadian people, not a personal take. So when persons like Dr. Mitchell and others had to give up American citizenship, it was to ensure that when they are representing Grenada, they are representing the Grenadian people and not doing so half-heartedly, believing to themselves, you know what, I have to come back in America, so I have to be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, the issue of this visa conversation is going to worsen. Remember, I said this to you. Now, this is no joking matter. When Mr. Batiste mentioned the friendly relation we would have had with the United States when it comes to agricultural produce. For those of you guys who remember a few years back, when the issue came up with the exportation of our soursop, and I think there was something to do with either a disease or something found in our soursop system. And we have had issues relatively to fisheries and our agricultural produce, where persons had to actually go and have those conversations to ensure that our farmers and our vendors and our fisher folks were able to do what they had to do to earn a living. These men can't sit at the table. And this is where we are at this stage. Some of these persons cannot sit at the table. That is the truth. They are not able to. Because, ladies and gentlemen, What they are busy concerned about is what the NNP posts. Because while the new National Party continues to ensure that they give the Grenadian people a reason to elect them the next general election, they are on the other side of the table trying to castigate everything. We had the almighty angel of Fix-It so loud and proud for the past year. All of a sudden, silence. What have we heard from him? What have we heard of him? And now we realize that we have clipped the wings. We have clipped the wings, ladies and gentlemen, of one of the flying mosquitoes that was just there buzzing around, serving little or no purpose. And I want to read this nice one coming out from our dear sister Akima Paul. And I'm hoping that she would give me the okay to voice this one. The political mosquitoes, those that buzz up about everything and expect everyone to do the same. No one is against Project Polaris. That is where I'm going now. A teaching hospital with 250 bed unit, bring it on. I believe one of the key reasons impeding investment in Grenada is the lack of investment in the healthcare and I am pleased to see a plan. Asking questions about the funding model when there is no information on the official website and when there is conflicting information regarding the collaboration with Mount Sinai, Africa, yes, philanthropic input, and now a request for donations is not an anti-patriotic. It is a sensible, nationalistic, and critical conversation. And in particular, asking how the donations will be managed is imperative. Remember I asked that last week. Many of us have burned. I got many of my 19,000 followers on LinkedIn to donate the burial via a fund I and others assisted to set up, and to date I cannot tell them how it has been spent. I am not saying that it is mismanaged. I am simply saying there is currently no process reaccounting for donation, and if we indeed or intend to move in that direction, this is critical. And if your answer is also happening previously, it is foolish and it is implying stagnatization must be maintained. I am fully in support of a diaspora funding. In fact, I lectured on this last year, but relying on what? The donations is not a financial model. Big projects are now not constructed on altruism. I am fully in support of the diaspora funding. You hear that part? I have subsequently been contacted by someone involving to explain, and yes, all the models I have mentioned are considered and on a table. I am making a simple request that this is made public. Pretty pity and projects do not bring successful project. Some of us don't like cat in bag. We want to know. It is also ironic how many people believe that they can insult your intellectual chops because they belong to a perceived intelligent party. Well, surprise. Intellect is not transferred by osmosis and diffusion and stifling debate. Suppressing questions, asking and accusing critical thinkers of subvention is a mark of intellectual weakness. I am respectfully unperturbed. I will always work with my country's government of the day, whoever is in charge. But I also ask that hard questions where I see them. Country first, always. Project Polaris. I am willing to donate. I am ready to donate. But as I asked, what is the management? What is the purpose with all these people that you say that is involved? Yeah? An example even drawn where 19,000 followers. A dear sister would have gotten to donate to the burial relief. No accountability. As she said, it's not mismanagement, but at the end of the day, when I spend my money, I want to know my money go in the right place. As recent as this weekend, an individual who visited Carriacou, he's saying that he's seeing the slow-paced movement in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. But when NNP talk about it, the defense and the answer is what happened previously. Like NNP did decide to build a hospital before. And ladies and gentlemen, it is laughable how they attempt to twist conversations. It is funny how they attempt to twist conversations, and it's laughable. But ladies and gentlemen, we're asking Project Polaris. You're asking to donate. We want to know what is the transparency behind it. We need the transparency behind it, ladies and gentlemen. So many persons are willing to donate, but you have boasted as it relates to this company and that business and that country that is willing to help. But now you're asking for donations. Why? How come? What is causing you to now ask of those donations? But ladies and gentlemen, to ask that question, you're foolish. To ask that question, you're dumb. To ask that question, they're telling you, go and ask NNP. Go and ask NNP. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as is stated, when you think critically and you ask the pertinent question that would normally sometimes allow them to scratch their head, you're the worst. You are the worst. Because, honestly, I believe at this stage, all that these persons want to hear is a voice of 100,000 persons echoing that everything is going fine. That the NDC government is the best thing in the world. That is what they want to hear you and I say. But the minute time you says otherwise, you're done. And you're stupid. And you is a thief. And you is a this. And you is a that. Because the pertinent question must not be asked by you. And then you see they come in the comment section. Who is you? You can't walk in this one's shoe. And you can't talk to this one. And there's some of them that are telling you that they're asking the same questions to persons with doctorates and certificates. So they could question Dr. Modest or Dr. Mitchell. But the minute time you question on their side, you can't question them. The persons with one subject. And they stay down in SG. So, at the end of the day, every time you ask the hard question, You is the worst thing. You don't good at all. You are the worst once you ask those pertinent questions. Ladies and gentlemen, don't stop. Don't stop asking them. Let us not stop asking them. Let us keep those questions coming. Because you know why? We deserve an answer. Let nobody tell you otherwise. Despite who you support, what you support, we honestly deserve an answer. And unless those questions that are asked are not answered, they are going to be continued to be asked. Because we ain't free to ask the serious questions. Project Polaris is alarming. Project Polaris is empty because you cannot get the answers or the answer to the questions asked. And so, if you can't get the answers, what else you go do? Not continue to ask questions? And so this is what we are doing. Asking the pertinent questions. So ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, it brings us to the end of today's programming. I am hoping that each and every one of you guys would have taken or would have listened at least to what was said, taking what was said also, and in all honesty, put them into practice. The ability to let persons know what we stand for and why we stand for what we stand. God's blessings to each and every one of you guys. We are going to be back here again tomorrow. There will be a pre-recording tomorrow. And let me extend a lot of thank you to the persons who have extended congratulations. By now, I think many of you guys are aware that I would have had a bouncing baby boy last Tuesday. Yes, he came in at a whopping 7.5 pounds. Yeah, God's blessings, and I want to thank God for His mercy and the grace for having his mommy and baby to have gone through, you know, the blessed procedure of, you know, childbirth. And I want to say to each and every one of you, thanks for the blessing and the congratulations. Yeah, so many persons are asking about the christening party. Sorry, I go open an account for you guys to donate. Yeah. Yeah, but that's my final inning. Let me put that out there. That's my final inning. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. Some persons are saying, by the way, what do you still young? Yeah, but I think I want to be honest with you, I want to copy my father a lot. There's a lot of things that my father would have done, and I want to copy him. The only thing I missed, I got 2 boys and 1 girl. He has 2 girls and 1 boy. Yeah, that's the only thing, and I missed that opportunity. But don't worry. But he had instilled in me responsibility, so I want to do everything, you know, and even more, yeah, that my daddy would have, you know, instilled in me as a young man. Yeah, and if he's listening to the program, I want to say good evening to you, Dad. I love you wholeheartedly, and do have yourself a wonderful evening. Yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you guys of the program tomorrow will be pre-recorded, or if it is not it may not be, and let me say it may not be like in the classroom setting. I may do an outside setting tomorrow. Yeah, very, very brief. Well, not be brief. It should be just about 45 minutes long, or an hour, just as we have the program now. Yeah, but I think it would be done. I would do 2 little changes to it because I want to do it away from studio tomorrow. Because of timing. Yeah, so I may do it a little bit differently tomorrow. But there is going to be a programming tomorrow. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I must say, having viewed my insights, yeah, and I want to share this one. Having viewed my insight on Facebook, on YouTube, sorry, the subscription have increased by so much, yeah, and I am just a few shy away from 500,000 views, yeah. I'm a few shy away from 500,000 views. I know our dear sister Jenny Simon would have gotten up to the 1,000,000 views already. I am a few away from 500,000, so I still have a little way to go, yeah. And I want to say that, you know, with the continued viewing and the continued support, I am going to get there, yeah. I might come up the block a little bit late, but I'm going to complete that race, all right. So thank you guys so very much. God's blessings to each and every one of you guys. Catch you back here again tomorrow. Yes, as I said. And do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Don't forget the meeting on Wednesday afternoon. So you know on a Wednesday, once the meeting is actually happening, then you know what. Yeah? We don't want to tell you guys that the program will be here. The program will not be on once there is meeting happening. Yeah? So if there is meeting on Wednesday confirmed, then we go over to the meeting that will be streamed live. It is usually broadcasted on the Class in Session program and both on my YouTube and Facebook page. Yeah, so you guys really don't miss anything. It's still that same level of conversation. Yeah, so thank you guys so very much. Have yourself a wonderful evening and God's blessings to each and every one of you guys.
Take a look at the world condition and tell me what is really going on. It is true that the devil have a hand. Survival is a hell to brother man. We go in the wrong way, don't you understand?
We go in the wrong way.
I singing man to man.
We go in the wrong way.
In this wall of corruption,
We go in the wrong way.
Mama, let us strive for you. So much of famine in Ethiopia. Check on the apartheid in South Africa. They fighting war in the Holy Land. And my brother